My name is Erica Quintero, and this is my discussion about initiatives and referendums in Arizona. So, first and foremost, what is an initiative? What is a referendum? Well, an initiative within a government is the ability for citizens to propose new laws or amend statutes or the Constitution. And in other words, it allows citizens to kind of bypass their state legislator. So there are both indirect initiatives and direct initiatives. The direct process is when the proposals go straight to the ballot where it will then be voted on. However, an indirect process is when the proposal is taken to the legislator where they can approve the proposal or create a similar one in which that will then go into the ballot for voters to consider. So a referendum. Referendum is the process of a constitutional change in which a proposal is voted on by the public. So this will begin if the legislator passes a law that voters don't like, in which then they gather signatures to demand a popular vote on the law. Generally speaking, there is about a 90-day period after a law is passed that a petition can take place. So as soon as enough signatures are gathered in a petition, the law will then go on a ballot for a popular vote. So during the time of the petition, the law won't take effect. However, if the law is passed by popular vote, the law will take effect as it is scheduled. And of course, if it is rejected by voters, it will not take effect. So furthermore, both an initiative and a referendum are very similar, but they are also different. So an initiative is voters having the ability to propose new laws or amend existing laws. So while a referendum is voters having the ability to veto a law. However, the processes are a bit similar. So both start with a petition of signatures by registered voters, and then they both will potentially go onto a ballot to be voted on. So now talking about pros and cons of both an initiative and a referendum. So a pro for an initiative, having the ability for initiatives, is the fact that citizens are able to put a check on what the legislator does, and it gives the people more power in what happens with their state constitution. A con is when a direct initiative is passed, the wording of the laws are typically written by the people. And it's not that this is a bad thing, but typically the wording of a law is very important, and it's also very specific. So typically when a law is written, it is written and goes through lawyers and congressmen who know how to word these laws appropriately. So sometimes the wording can be a little off. But moving on to referendums. So a pro for a referendum would be that it is definitely good, but because since the laws are more so directly influenced by the people, the laws are generally received better by the people as well than coming from a sometimes out of touch electorate. So a con for referendums is that they can definitely sometimes cause a large political divide within a state, in which we have seen riots, many protests, and so on. So lastly, initiatives and referendums support the idea of direct democracy. They support this idea within the Arizona Constitution by giving the people more power. The Arizona Constitution has done that, and we've seen that with how the progressive movement really influenced the Constitution of Arizona. So initiatives and referendums give the people the ability to directly influence the Constitution and to be able to speak up and have that voice and directly be able to have an impact on what state legislators pass and what's going on with all their laws on their Constitution. But yes, so thank you for listening to my presentation.